So let's try to put this bombing of Venezuela and the kidnapping of the president and the wife into historical perspective. In 2004, February 29th, so it was a leap year, right? 2004, Jean-Bertrand Aristide was kidnapped in Haiti by Baby Bush. The first democratically elected president of Haiti was kidnapped, forced out in a coup d'etat by armed rebels, taken by U.S. forces, an American plane to the Central African Republic. And Aristide is going to stay exiled until 2011. So for 7 years, he's in the Central African Republic, and also he was taken to South Africa. He was kidnapped. He was forced out. It was a coup d'etat. And this isn't the first coup d'etat that America has done to Venezuela. Well, it started out with Harry Truman. 1948, we needed to protect Standard Oil, which is today ExxonMobil. So Harry Truman in 1948, he kicked out the democratically elected Gallegos, the president of Venezuela, and replaced him with the dictator Jimenez. And then Jimenez is going to be in power for many years as a dictator. And for what reason? Oh, you know exactly for what reason. For Standard Oil. Because of leftist policies. We're going to be against left politics. And we're going to be against socialism. And we're going to be in favor of steel and oil. So Gaza's got gas. Sudan has got gold. Ukraine has got titanium. The Congo's got cobalt. And Venezuela has got oil. The largest oil reserves in the entire world. That was like what Hitler did, right, during the war. You got to get the oil fields, right? Who's going to power the planes and the tanks? You got to steal the oil. First, you take the oil. You shoot first, ask questions later. So that's going to be great. If this starts a war, there is also Noriega. There was a war that happened with Noriega. There was a battle. Some countries don't like it when you kidnap their president. So this might start a larger war. Who knows? But I guess I just want to ask the American people, are you prepared to fight and die for ExxonMobil, for Chevron and Phillips 66, for ConocoPhillips, for Valero, Marathon, BP, British Petroleum, which is owned by the UK. The House of Windsor has controlled the UK and the Commonwealth because it's still an empire, including Canada. Shell and Pilot Flying J. You know Pilot Flying J is owned 100% by Berkshire Hathaway. So Warren Buffett owns all of the Pilot Flying J's. You got 750 locations. Pilot Flying J's are like their own little cities. These are travel centers. You go there, you can sleep out in the car. I mean, they're truck centers, right? But they got showers and they have a whole bunch of, not just gasoline, but just restaurants and a whole bunch of goods and shit that you could buy. So are you prepared to fight and die for Occidental Petroleum? Are you prepared to fight and die for midstream companies? Valero? Are you going to make sure shit go? Is that what you're going to fight and die for? ConocoPhillips? We got a major fascist problem in America. The kidnapping of the Venezuelan president is a big win for the American oil companies. When Jovenel Moïse in Haiti was assassinated, they were shouting DEA. I saw the picture with Maduro in handcuffs with one of the military personnel that had DEA written on the front of it. The president of the U.S. government said that this was a U.S. law enforcement thing. So this isn't a military invasion. It's like when they said Vietnam was a police action. Oh, okay, it's a police action. Are you just saying that because you don't want to go through the Congress because you're supposed to get the Congressional Declaration of War? That's if you give a shit about the Constitution. You can't run for 3 terms if you give a fuck about the Constitution. What grand jury? I mean, that's just the Constitution. Who gives a fuck about the Constitution, right? flown out of the country by U.S. law enforcement. There's supposed to be a press conference at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that's what the Epsteiner-in-Chief is going to say. Oh, you captured the president of Venezuela, flew him out of the country, and was done by U.S. law enforcement, huh? That was the local sheriff's deputy. The local sheriff's deputy went down to Venezuela and arrested. Bullshit. Apparently there is some sort of indictment. But that's what they did with Noriega. So, okay, we got Jean-Bertrand Aristide, 2004. Kidnapped, flown out of the country. People, right now the vice president and the interior minister and the defense minister of Venezuela want proof of Maduro's survival. Is he still alive? Now, I saw a picture with fucking AI. Who the fuck knows, you know? But it looked legit, frankly. But I saw a picture with Maduro being arrested. So he's, you know, dressed in casual clothes, has his arms behind his back, and there's 4 soldiers in military fatigues. It was the U.S. Delta Force, the Army's Delta Force, who carried out the coup d'etat. They said that there was not conventional ground troops. So there's several questions I have. How many people was involved in this operation? How many people were murdered? How many people killed? You know, you can't just bomb a building and then just pretend that nobody was inside that building. Now, apparently there was no Venezuelans that fired any shot. So somehow they were able to get into Venezuela. They found out where Maduro was. Put a gun to him, and I heard that Maduro shouted, you know, homeland or death. Or the fatherland or death. So Noriega in Panama in 1989, Papa Bush is going to arrest Noriega, the president of Panama, for drug trafficking. Oh, okay, yeah, we care about drug trafficking. What about that Philip? That Philip guy, he got a fucking commutation. He got his sentence commuted. What was his name? Philip. Not Philip Cheesesteak, but Philip S. Formace. You know what Philip S. Formace did? Oh, he only stole $1 billion from Medicare and Medicaid. Oh, how are we going to afford universal health care? Well, now with fucking Philip S. Formace stealing goddamn little bit of, you know, a big $1 billion from the little bit of health care that we actually have. And then Philip S. Formace, what he was doing was getting people addicted to Oxycontin, a.k.a. hillbilly heroin, and fentanyl. I thought we were bombing those, you know, fisherman boats because of fentanyl. Meanwhile, this motherfucker stole $1 billion from the American taxpayer, getting people hooked on Oxycontin and fentanyl. And he gets his sentence commuted, which is basically a pardon. He gets a small pardon, a partial pardon. All right, serve 1 more year, and then you could get on out there. And then you know what Philip S. Formace did when he got out of prison? Well, then he got charged with domestic violence. So, oh, fucking great. The goddamn fentanyl drug running goddamn Medicaid, Medicare, the largest health insurance fraud scheme ever in the U.S. history. Oh, he gets out of jail and then goes and beats his fucking girlfriend. So the thing with Noriega, there was a firefight that happened with them. They kidnapped Noriega, the U.S. government did, and there was a short war that happened afterwards. There's also the 1954 coup in Guatemala, 1973 coup with Chile. Well, that's because Chile had a socialist. In Guatemala, well, we got to protect Chiquita Banana. That was United Fruit. This isn't the first time we've tried to coup d'etat Venezuela either. Yet Hugo Chavez was kidnapped for 2 days in 2002. And then Juan Guaido, 2019 and 2020, Operation Gideon. More coming up.